Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Nigeria today, and welcome to the African Travel Information Platform interview series. Just to let you know, we're live on Facebook, and we're also here on Zoom, and this recording will be available when we are done, so we can share the links for everybody to participate, those who are not able to join us live today. I'd like to welcome you all. And with the team I have, I am sure there will be a lot of information, there will be a lot of sharing, and there will be a lot of things where we will learn about some of the African destinations today. This is basically a tourism show where we talk about African destinations by Africans, for Africans. Today, we shall be looking at the topic, Intra Africa Tourism, the opportunities and the benefits. I shall be introducing my guests soon. They are powerful ladies in the industry, and they have done a lot to promote African tourism. So I'm going to have you sit back and enjoy this session. If you do have questions or contributions, you could use the chat option to do that. I hope it's enabled. Let's see whether that's enabled. Okay. All right. So we will begin. So I would like to have my guests introduce themselves. Let me introduce you to them before they unmute their mics and tell you a bit about themselves. These are powerful ladies in the African travel and tourism industry, and they are giving a lot of contributing a lot in their own countries. The idea behind the interview series of ATIP is to be able to highlight some of these achievements, some of these contributions tourism and hospitality practitioners bring to the table in the African countries, the African continent. So today we shall be talking to 3 women I'm trying to pull up. Okay, there they go. Here are the 3 women with us in the house today. We have Mrs. Susan Akpariaye from Nigeria. She is the president, the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies, NANTA, and also the CEO of Topaz Travels and Tours. This is a bit of the cap she wears. There are a lot more, and she's going to tell us more about that when she introduces herself. We also have in the house Mrs. Alisa Osei Asamoah from Ghana, the President, Tour Operators Union of Ghana, TUGA. I hope it's TUGA or Toga. And she is also the CEO of Reali Consult. TUGA, awesome, okay. TUGA, yeah. All right, she's also the CEO Reali Consult in Ghana. My third guest is Ms. Bonnie Bola. She is from South Africa. She is the founder of Africa Links Tours, a board members to many tourism associations in South Africa, including the South African Tourism Services Association. Each of them will introduce themselves. We get to know them, get to know about their passion in tourism before we dive into the topic for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, using the virtual icons, help me and welcome my guests. The first is Mrs. Susan Akporiaye. Please kindly unmute yourself and introduce yourself. And if possible, we'd like to see your face. We will like to see your face if it's possible. Susan, you have the floor. You have the virtual floor. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Awesome.
Good afternoon. I think you've even done the introduction. Is there any other thing you want me to say?
Oh, there's a lot. There is a lot.
Good afternoon, everybody, and it's good to be on this program. I think this is my second time on the program. It's quite interesting, mind-blowing, and very educative program. Thank you, Mrs. Uloma Kemabonja, for inviting me again. My name remains Susan Akporiaye. I'm the National President of the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies and the MD CEO of Topaz Travels and Tours in Abuja. I'm glad to be here among such great women like my sister and colleague, Alisa, Tuga President, and of course, my very senior colleague and friend, Bonnie Bula of African League. It's nice being on the same stage with you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Susan. There's something she didn't say, and I'm going to lend you into that. All right? There are a bit of herself. She's a very modest woman, but I'm not going to let her go like that, basically. She is in the history of the National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies. In the history of its existence, I think about 46 years or so now, she is the second female president. So that's an achievement in the midst of men. So that's something to, you know, to talk about. Yes, she's deserving of the applause. Yes, thank you so much. So welcome, Susan, and thank you for being part of this team. Alisa, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please?
Thank you very much. I'll call you Ivy.
Yes, thank you.
I'm privileged to be on this platform, and thank you for putting me on this platform for the first time. And my name is Alisa Osei Asamoah, CEO of Yali Consort Limited and President of Tour Operators Union of Ghana. And I have been in the industry for 2.5 decades. Thank you.
Thank you so much, but we can't see your face. If it's possible, you can let us have, oh, awesome. That's more like it, although we can't see your face more. So awesome, good to see you.
Okay.
All right, Alisa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bunny, where are you?
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon, Africa.
Let's see you.
And all my lovely sisters. Thank you so much for having me on your program. And to Susan and Alicia, a special hug from South Africa to you ladies. I've been involved in tourism for, I think, for the most of my life. I don't know anything else. I love, dream, eat, breathe this passion that I discovered that has kept me very young and has allowed me to meet wonderful people like Susan and Alicia. Susan and me go back at least more than 10 years or even more. I've lost track of time, but I can assure you that the network of the sisterhood in tourism is very active. And this is the result why the three of us are all talking together. So it's really wonderful to be able to talk to you about this subject that all three of us are equally very, very, I think, passionate about. Intra Africa tourism.
Mhm.
And that's what we are, proudly African. Thank you.
Awesome, Bunny. Thank you so much. This is why I had to get the three of you into the same room. That's the reason why I had to get three of you here, so that we can hear what you're doing, you know, have people understand what you're doing. You, the three of you, and many other women in Africa regarding tourism in Africa. And this is also in recognition of the month. March is recognized as the international, you know, month for women and what they are doing. We are playing in the tourism industry, so it just makes sense. Okay, thank you so very much for being part of this program. Like I said, the African Travel Information Platform hosts series of interviews to be able to really examine African tourism. So I'm going to start with you, Bunny. I will start with you. I'd like you to share a few insights into tourism in your country, which is South Africa. General background. What are the issues? How is tourism in South Africa? I think you're muted. You're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
My apologies, my apologies.
Okay.
I think coming from the background of COVID, 2 years ago, we didn't even realize what was going to happen. But since the borders have opened, it is absolutely, absolutely amazing. The people are pouring in. Cape Town has had some mega events that have really, really brought in loads of people from Africa and from the markets. We have many senior people. We lost many senior people, very experienced people during COVID, and we've gained new, energetic, enterprising entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had a trade show in February in Johannesburg. It was called Meetings Africa, and 50% of the new entrants on the trading floors were young, energetic, vibrant people with innovative ideas, mixing the digital and the normal tourism stances that one would produce to your clients. So I think that we poised for growth really in South Africa. Of course, a large percentage of our guests that come to South Africa are from Africa. And this is why it is so important we're having this conversation.
Oh, that is good news, really good news. Because yeah, that's good news. It wasn't like that before, but we'll get to that.
No, it wasn't, but the Nigerians do love Johannesburg. The shopping, the educational facilities, there is just so much of common ground between South Africa and the rest of Africa. But there is definitely an increase of people from Africa coming into South Africa. I just wanted to share with you some of the initiatives in Africa that we in South Africa are focusing on. Now, having been involved in SATSA, which is the Southern African Tourism Services Association, I somehow, I think accidentally, started becoming the PRO, where my focus became very strongly on forging alliances between trade organizations similar to SATSA in other African countries and also global markets. And we started this relationship with NANTA I think 10 years ago, and the conversation.
So just to be clear, NANTA is the National Association of Nigerian travel agencies, just for our guests who are in-house so that they will know what that is. Go ahead.
Correct. My apologies. It started just basically, I think, at a cocktail evening where we engaged with the president, who was Bankole, some 10 years ago, and the discussion didn't even revolve around a conference. It basically was just on networking, forging alliances, and see where we can go forward. And in the last 10 years, we kind of picked up a little bit more on our conversations, typical like women that would, keep onto a certain track. And there was enthusiasm and interest from his side. We hosted an executive committee of NANTA, I think some 5 years back, that came for the Durban July. And wow, they had a great time. We had a wonderful time ourselves. And then, of course, my sister Susan took the chair. And, women can make things happen.
You can say that again.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And there was this young, energetic taskmaster that was on my tail totally. And this is the result of having NANTA coming through to have their conference now in May in Johannesburg, and then participating in Indaba.
Awesome. So I'm gonna stop you there a bit. We will come to that because that's the juicy part of this show, as it were. Madam Alisa.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about what is happening in Ghanaian tourism. What's happening in Ghana? Let us know.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. In fact, you know what? This month is Tourism Month in Ghana.
Okay.
And I'm so happy, privileged to talk on this show because it's in the right direction. Now, I'll also start from give the background during COVID time. When COVID came, we realized that jobs were badly hit, and some even lost their businesses. So I decided with my association that for Ghanaians, when you talk about tourism, it means moving out of the shores of Ghana. And why don't we intensify domestic tourism? Because at least if you travel within the country, we can earn some income to break even, to pay overheads, so that we can't lose our businesses. So what happened was we decided that we will visit and we will revisit and see the product that we are selling. Of course, people will go on tours. If we don't know the products, it doesn't make us 100% professional. So we started embarking on farm trips within Ghana. And from COVID time, when by God's grace now, the industry has bounced back. It's a resilient industry. I can tell you, as I speak now, we have visited 13 regions out of the 16 regions of Ghana.
Wow.
We were going for farm trip, not only farm trip. When we go, we also look at the states, the nature of our tour sites. So when we come back, we'll write reports to Ghana Tourism Authority. Some of them has been fixed, and they are working on others. So in fact, it has really helped us. Okay. When somebody comes, like,
sorry, ma'am. Somebody is asking, what is farm trip? So farm trip is familiarization trip.
Familiarization trip.
Familiarization trip to destinations, to know what the destination offers. So that's what she's describing. Go ahead, ma'am.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So in fact, it has really helped us. And as I speak, the domestic tourism, when we go, I don't have the figures. I don't have the figures, but I know that it has increased tremendously. And it is also helping some of my members and myself, because I'm with the corporate world. So some of my clients, you leave Friday, come back on Sunday. I mean, you are so sound, and they now know that even Ghana, we have a lot of places, we have the sites to visit. And it's in line with the Intra African tourism. So this is what we are doing now in Ghana, and it has indeed helped us.
So this is great. COVID. Now, was that a plan you had when you came on board? And what is your government? Yes. What is the benefit you're reaping or the government is getting from that? Are they getting information from you? Are you pushing for policies that will advance the development of tourism in Ghana with your findings?
Oh, yes. In fact, June 2021, our president launched the domestic tourism. That indeed helped us. And the work we have also done, as I mentioned it earlier, when we come, we give them reports. And I said, based on the reports that we've given them, negative or positive, some have been fixed and they are working on others. So it has yielded results and for our members as well.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll come to you now, Madam Susan. Tell us about tourism in Nigeria. What is going on?
Oh, thank you very much again. And Alisa, Bonnie, thank you. I would like to start from what Bonnie said, COVID, but I'll take it from the perspective in the sense that COVID made us to appreciate what we have in tourism. You can be everything, like they say, a horse would not know the usefulness of his tail until he loses it. So tourism, for people like us, like Bonnie, she said something interesting, and I think that's also my own story. She said that's the only thing she knows how to do. Is done tourism all her life. Yeah. My own all my life might not be as much as Bonnie's all her life. But I understand when they say that's the only thing she knows how to do. Everybody seems to know what tourism is about. When you spend more than 24 hours and you make use of hotels, accommodation, and all that. We really didn't know how important tourism was to humanity. COVID happened. Sometimes we think we knew, but we really didn't know until COVID happened. COVID happened, and we now saw how
Okay, I think we're losing a bit of what you said. We heard from COVID happened, and so you may want to pick up from there.
Okay, COVID happened, and it made us realize that the real importance, or how important tourism was to humanity. So that's what I'm going to pick up from tourism in Nigeria. COVID happened, yes. It gave us Nigerians a different perspective of tourism, yes. And to a large extent, though not very proud of it, but tourism in Nigeria is more private sector driven. I mean, the private sector they are on scale 9. If you're asking me 1 to 10, they are on scale 9 when it comes to tourism in Nigeria. They practically are driving it. And there's this much they can do on their own. But the amazing part of it, which is still a positive for me, is the fact that the people are ready. We just want one more synergy. And what is that synergy? The government synergy. It's a long story, but since when the Ministry of Tourism was scrapped in Nigeria and tourism was now resided to the states, good or bad, yes, some good came out of it because some states really now rose to the challenge and they were able to build and develop some of their tourism sites. But on the federal level, nothing much is happening. I mean, the little we are seeing is only happening on the state level. But the other side now is the private sector, seeing what is going on all over the world and seeing the potential of tourism in Nigeria, have taken the bull by the horn. Just like Alisa said, a lot of private sector have also engaged in moving around to discover new tourist sites, document it, and we are keeping and archiving it down to each state in Nigeria. We have 36 states plus the federal capital, which is 37, and it is massive. We have not even gotten to a quarter of that discovery yet. But the energy is there. And I'm happy there's been a massive injection of the youth also in tourism in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
we need their energy in this discovery. Nigerian tourism is natural. It's natural, it's adventure, it's all about adventure. History and adventure, that's basically what Nigerian tourism is about. History, tradition, and adventure. And of course, that is why I'm excited that the young people have taken so much keen interest. They just need guidance and some push and better understanding of what they are doing. So for us to tell you how far the private sector have gone, we are not relentless, and we refuse to be deterred by our government not being so active in tourism, and especially the synergy with the private sector. You know, Nigerians generally, we are go-getters. We don't take a no for an answer. Even if the government are telling us no, we are doing it all by ourselves. And to tell you, that led to, for the past 8 years, yeah, since the fact that we don't have a federal ministry of tourism anymore, Nigeria as a country has not had to play in the international stage anywhere in the world in the last 10 years.
As a country.
We have not showcased, as a country, we have not showcased our tourism potential or tried to sell it anywhere in the world. And because the private sector are relentless, because this is what we do, this is our life. So we are showing the government the way, and we're showing them how it's being done. So this led to the private sector hosting the Nigerian flag for the very first time in 10 years in World Travel Market, London. And the excitement was amazing.
This was
it was
last
as if
year.
something was, which was last year,
yeah.
something was missing. The whole world were like, Nigeria, where have you guys been? They were so excited to finally see us play in the international scene. And this was 100%, 100% private sector driven. That is to tell you how we and the tourism professionals in Nigeria understand what tourism is about, and we are ready, with nothing stopping us, to take it to any level. And the government, I'm excited that we have new governments. We just did our elections on the state level, on the federal, and I'm not much of a following politics, but I did follow this one. And I'm happy to say that a lot of the new entrants in terms of governors, as in like you have in South Africa, provinces, the governors, which are the ones that are heading this state, quite a new number of them coming in has tourism in their focus.
Okay.
It's quite interesting, yes.
So there is hope. There is hope for
there
Nigeria,
is hope,
basically.
yes. I will start with my state, Akwa Ibom State. The person that won as the governor, I followed him keenly. I mean, I don't know him, but I was following him because anytime he has opportunity to talk, his Instagram page, his Twitter, he's talking about the rich culture of tourism of Akwa Ibom State. And he has an agenda to make Akwa Ibom State, to unveil what they call amazing Akwa Ibom, to make Akwa Ibom State bring Nigeria on international scene. So that is green light for me. So it's not, we're not going to stop. So we hope that our new president will follow suit, and we're already working on opportunity to engage with the new president-elect in the aspect of tourism. That's where we are in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, this is African Travel Information Platform interview series where we try to unveil the vision of tourism in Africa.